So let's move forward, shall we? And we have now the Yard and Garden Hour on the WHTC Talk of the Town program. If you have a question for the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen, she'll be happy to answer it at 395-1450, 395-1450. And power is still going on very nicely. Thank you very much over at DeBruyn Seed. And Jan is has full powers as we speak.
Yes,
to not only deal with customers, deal with Ken and the boys, but also deal with the real boss, a little cat.
Butter. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's sitting down there, checking out people. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Does he have a little rule? Maybe saying, okay, this person doesn't measure up. Yeah, you go.
He does inspect bags that leave.
Oh, okay. Well, that does make things a little bit, cost efficient. You don't have to have little sensors. Beep, beep, beep.
No, I've got a cat that looks at that sort of stuff. Yeah.
395-1450. If you have a question for Jan Meeuwsen, the Master Gardener, she'll be happy to answer it. How are we doing on getting the photos for the pet calendar?
Hey, they're still coming in. That's good. Got till the end of the month, so you still got some time. But I'd love to have them. Love to have your pet's picture in our calendar. So you can always email them to me at DeBruynseed@gmail.com. That's DEBRUYNS as in Sam, EED @gmail.com. Like to keep it down to 2 pets per person. Next year you can add more of your pets. But yes, get them in. I've got my college niece is going to help me put this together, but she graduated from law school and starts her new law job in October. So I got to get them in before then.
Okay, the pressure is on, folks.
The pressure is on.
Yes. 395-1450. Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen. Okay, now I got you. Good morning. You're on the air now.
I have a question for Jan.
Go ahead.
Sure.
I have these spirea bushes. They only bloom on the top, and they've only been in the ground like 6 years, but nothing's underneath them anymore. So I wondered how low I can cut them down.
You can only cut 1/3 of the bush down at any 1 year.
Okay.
But it sounds like it might be a little bit rounder at top than at bottom. So make sure the bottom is getting some sunlight. So you might want to make it more pyramid shape so you can get some sunlight down to that bottom. So you can get some leaves down there.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yep, you're welcome. Have fun.
395-1450, 395-1450. We talked about the pet calendar going on, but also, Jan, the aid for Puerto Rico with the island dogs and the Sept.
Yeah, I just had someone drop something off, so still taking it. I got a pile in the back over there that I'm going to send out this week. So get your stuff in and I will get it down to Puerto Rico. They really have a huge need. Antibiotics, flea or tick, heartworm medication, ear mite medication, whatever medication your dog or cat might have had and is no longer using, I will be glad to take it. And I don't care if it's expired. I'm at Human Meds. I'll take that too. A lot of times they use the same stuff. So be glad to take it along with any gently used cat or dog collars or toys or treats. If you opened up a box of treats and your dog or cat doesn't like them, I'll take them. I bet you I could find a dog down or cat down in Puerto Rico that would love to have them.
395-1450, 395-1450. If you have a question for the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen. We're into the first hour of autumn. We started at 9:31 this morning, according to Brent Allen, host of the Lake Shores Wake Up Call on the Lake Shores 92.7 The Van. He's meticulous about these types of numbers. So we're in the first month of autumn. And our friend, State Senator Eric Nesbitt, tweeted out a map of the autumnal equinox and where leaves will be the changing of the color. That's right
That's
now
coming up. Yes.
the Western UP right now it is underway for the sharp time, and a little bit in the Pelston area, a little north of Pelston, and then later on in this month and into early next month, more of the UP, the central area, Meeuwsen and the like, the lakes, the Sault Ste. Marie area, and then northern Michigan, pretty much northern half of the mitten, and then the southern half of the mitten will be early to mid-October, and then in the Detroit area and around the thumb in the late October. So it is the nice time of year, the changing of the leaves. But yeah,
that means they're also going to fall off the tree.
We'll talk about what you can do with your leaves. Now, let's be nice out there. Don't start giving me, well, know what we do with the leaves with you. No, let's not go there. Let's go instead about changing leaves and making sure that is a natural change and not a sign that your tree is in some sort of distress.
Yeah, sometimes, there is a problem. I can see some trees right from here that have turned, and that's not normal this early. So I think that's under some sort of, I would say, water stress right outside our window here. But yeah, we might see a lot more of that sort of stuff. But, they end up on our lawn no matter what. If it's a tree that has like a maple with tar spot, great big black spots on the leaves or little bumps on the leaves, we don't want to keep those on the lawn. We want to bag those up and get rid of those. But all the other leaves, we can run over with a mulching mower, and we can keep running over until they're small little pieces, and you can leave them right there on your lawn. Take your leaves. If your garden is done for the year, take your leaves, wet them down, put them on top of your garden, and then you can turn them over into the garden. It will make great organic matter for you for next year. So there are things that you can do with these leaves, rather than just curse at them and rake them up and bring them out to the curb. But just remember, we don't want any diseased leaves out, on top of your garden.
Mulching them is the best thing. No, it does not help the lawn. It does not help the plants if you just leave them there. Well, they'll degrade, and no.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're too big, and what they do is they smother the grass underneath it and kill it. So we don't want that to happen. We want them size of dimes or smaller, and the lawn can take care. A good 4 to 6 inches of leaves. It can take that much on it over the winter if you mulch it into small enough pieces.
Can you do carry out, please?
We don't know about that. We don't know about that. 10-4, 10-4. Speaking about that, 10-4 on 10-4, 10-4 on 10-4.
That's right. That's a good thought. They aren't saying that on the radio here, but say 10-4 to weeds on 10-4. That time is coming. If you've got a problem with weeds in your lawn, putting a lawn killer on your lawn on 10-4, great time to do it. The only drawback is you don't see that wonderful, everything is dying and, wilting. It's just going to bring it down to the roots, and it's going to kill it. We won't see it next year. That's going to be your positive part.
Yeah, you will not get the enjoyment of the Margaret Hamilton melting scene.
Yes, you don't get that this time of year, but you just won't see it next year. So that's what we want.
What a world, what a world, what a world. 395-1450. Can little surprises happen if you don't treat your leaves besides killing the grass? I mean, could insects and other bad, nasty things happen if you don't rake?
Well, actually, it makes a nice little moist environment between the dirt and the leaves, and things can live there during the winter. You're exactly right. We can have insects live there. We can have little slugs or snails live in that sort of thing. The spiders can live there. So you're just creating an environment for bugs.
Right, and you don't need to accommodate them. They don't pay rent. They paid rent.
No, they don't. And I don't want them to come, anywhere near my house either. There's a line around there.
Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Hi, I was wondering if she could explain again about the mouse spray that they sell.
The mouse spray?
Yeah.
Oh, rodent stopper. Yes.
Yeah, that's okay, thank you.
I appreciate the call. Let's find out about our friends to get Radigan and his boys out of there. Rodent stopper.
Yes, I do this around my house. I spray, and this is an excellent time of year to get outside. It's warm enough. We can go walk outside. If you see any little spot that a mouse might enter your house, just spray the bejeebers out of it. Spray around your house, both inside and outside. You can do this with the kids, the grandkids, the pets are sitting right next to you. It is not going to hurt them at all. It's got kind of a pleasant odor to it. It dissipates in the house, so you don't have to smell it all the time. But it does smell nice. You will have a nice surprise where you just don't get rodents. They just don't want to cross that barrier. So, if I have a problem in my garage, I spray around the baseboards of my garage. I spray around the door. I spray around the windows. I just spray all around. I just don't want them in the house with me or even in my garage. So
No.
I do spray. It works. It works like a charm for me. You can also set out some traps with it too, but it is the one thing that has worked at my house.
Now, the thing is, by doing this, it stops them. You don't have to worry about them dying, and then you have to deal with the
smell.
Yeah.
And the body. No, don't have to worry about any of that. They'll be outside or at the neighbor's house, even better.
Yep, indeed. 395-1450, 395-1450. If you have a question for the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen, she'll be happy to answer that. Second half hour, we'll go through our awards category with one exception. We talked on morning news during the garden party about dealing with crabgrass. It has become an issue. I will refer you to that podcast on our website at WHTC.com if you want to hear Jan's tips about dealing with crabgrass that we normally deal about with the spring, but we got to deal with it now. We also talked to Jan about Eastern equine encephalitis and the concerns there. Again, that's during the garden party. We had that earlier this morning. Listen to the podcast at WHTC.com. But we'll go through our award winners in our next half hour. I've been ignoring them, and we've been ignoring them for the last few weeks. Jan loves birds. She's a birder.
Yes.
Not a fowler. That's one to but a birder. And we're starting to see perhaps migration of birds coming south. This is the first day of autumn, and their compass is headed south. And no, they don't need to wear a mask. They can
cross state lines all by themselves. Yeah.
And all that. Taking care of the birds who are just passing through is very important.
Yeah, it is. They migrate at night, unless it's raining, but they migrate at night. They stop during the day. They're going to want to sleep and then get enough food in them to migrate all night long. So they need some high energy food. So stock up on some suet, stock up on black oil sunflower seeds, peanuts, any kind of food food that's got black oil and peanuts in it would be really appreciative right now. My no waste mix has all of that, plus the suet. Mr. B's has all of that, plus fruit. They would love that right now when they're going through. It's kind of fun to watch them. I wish it would rain at night so they would stop and stay here for a couple of days, but they're all on this, they're busy going through. But stock up on that food. Make sure it is not, don't let it go down too far. So, and water. Make sure they've got a source of water. If you do have that source of water, make sure you've got some BT in there to prevent the mosquito larvae. Won't hurt your birds, but let's get some source of water out there too for them. It's hard work to migrate at night.
Yeah, because they don't want to be hitting things.
Yeah.
They're little eyes, can see the light a little bit, but sometimes they have to fly in the dark. So they got to be ready for that. And hummingbirds still in the area.
Yes, they are. They're still going through. They're still hitting my feeder, not as much as they had been, but every time I sit there and I think I'm going to take it down, there's a hummingbird by it. So the migrating birds are coming through. So don't take your hummingbird feeders down till at least the end of the month.
We'll have the awards categories in a moment. Somebody wants to say hi. Good morning. On the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Good morning. I have an unusual question. I get more sparrows every year, and they just clean my feeder out, and they seem to have a lot of different raising of nests. It seems like I see babies 3-4 times during the summer, and I wonder if you had that problem, if there's anything I can do. Do they scare the other birds away? I seem to have so much less variety than I used to have. And I remember the olden days, so-called, that wasn't there even a bounty on sparrows, a penny a piece, because they were taking the grain out of farmers' fields? I don't hate them or anything. I just worry about them chasing all my birds away. Do you know anything about all this?
Well, there really isn't that many more sparrows out, but people do misidentify sparrows. There's a lot of, when the finches change colors, most people think they're all sparrows, and most people think the females are all sparrows. And there's a lot of little birds like that people just lump as a sparrow because they just don't know exactly what it is. And there's just certain types of sparrows that they had a bounty on. So don't think that you can just be eliminating them all.
No, I even like them. They chatter, and they are house sparrows. They are definitely identifiable as house sparrows that I have. And I get like 3 dozen at a time. It's so you don't think they scare the other birds away?
Not really. Little birds can mob bigger birds, but they really don't mob littler birds the same size. You just might be putting out something that they really like. That might be it. You never know. You could try and change where your feeder is, change what your food is, see if you can get some different birds there.
Yep, thank you. I do have a few blue jays that I'm really happy to have this summer, but boy, do I have they are the house sparrows. Their markings are exactly house sparrow markings.
Yeah, okay.
And the finches I used to have more house finches, but I haven't seen many of them. And since I stopped using the thistle feeder, I see very few of the goldfinches, male or female. But
the goldfinches love that thistle. Yeah.
I wanted to know if those house sparrows were scaring away my other ones. So thank you so much.
All right, appreciate the call. 395-1450, 395-1450. No, sparrows are not Frank Nitty birds. They don't put the muscle on some of the other ones. Hey,
get out of my area.
You're dead. I can see Bruce Gordon now from the Untouchables series. 395-1450. All right, enough about that. All right, time now for our award category. And what everybody wants to talk about is what Jan will be chatting with us a little bit about. Is it going to rain? Seems like they're thinking that you are you got an AWS next to your name, but even though you have your doctorate, you are not a member of the AWS. So don't ask Jan about weather questions.
No, I don't know. My joints can sometimes tell you about 6 hours in advance if it's going to rain, but we don't know here. Our best thing is just tune in on, go online, look at your weather on WHTC.com. I had a little hope there for Sunday morning, and now I see that's been upgraded to no rain. So I don't see any rain in the future, folks.
Yeah, but of course, no rain means when we do get rain, the skeeters are going to come back, and then it's equine encephalitis, and we talked about that on the Garden Party. Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Yes, I've got a problem with some skunks that are digging up my lawn and wondering how I can get rid of them.
Well, you can trap them, but I know that's not ever going to be the thing that people want to do. You need to kill the insects that they're digging for.
Yeah.
So, dilox
Yeah.
right now, unfortunately, it has to be watered in well after you put it down. So you're going to need to get the sprinklers going and get that in the ground after you put it down.
I put it down about a week ago and sprinkled it heavily, but we still keep coming back. How long does it take for that?
It's going to take a little bit yet, so just be patient. There is a cool little skunk trap called Skunkinator or something like that. That it's a black thing, and they go in, and once they go in, it traps them in there, but they won't spray because it's all enclosed. That's a thought, but it's usually just more than one skunk that comes at a time. So, but anyway, yes, it's going to take a little bit for the dilox to work. You can put it down again in another week, just to get better coverage.
Okay. I put it down pretty heavy compared to what they recommended. It's a week, so I guess I should be patient. But do you know where I can get that skunk trap?
Oh, we have it at DeBruyn's.
Oh, okay. Is it a little pricey or not too bad?
It's not too bad. In fact, we had one of our guys use it at his house. One of them.
And it's guaranteed not to have the skunk spray?
No, they will not spray when they're inside there. No. Not
So
like
then,
one of those open things. Yeah.
Yeah. So then how do I just take them and let them go out in the woods someplace 10 miles from here?
Yeah. Someone's house that you don't like, or.
Okay.
I'll make sure we're not on your bad list.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate the call. Thank you. 395-1450, 395-1450. Last couple of weeks, skunks had been the nuisance animal. Now it's back to mice.
Back to mice, because the mice are the days are getting shorter. We're now at equal daylight. And
yep, that's today.
So, yeah, and the mice sense that. They sense that it's time to start finding a nice warm place to spend the winter months. So they are looking to find a place to come in. So don't let them come in. The rodent stopper spray and traps, keep them out of the house.
Yes, indeed. 395-1450. One more call before the break. Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Hi, thank you. Jan, I got mushrooms. One was even about 4-inch mushrooms in the lawn. Is that, do I need lime on that?
No, that's actually something that's just decomposing deeper in the soil, and it's sending up a reproductive little part. That's the mushroom. Kick it over with your foot. That's what you can do. Doesn't mean you need lime. If you want to get rid of them, then you got to dig the ground out all the way around it, down at least 12 to 18 inches. Remove everything, and put in new stuff. But it's just something decomposing. After a while, it will decompose, and you won't see any more mushrooms after a couple of years in that location.
Yeah, because I've been getting more and more of them. So I thought
Yeah.
and that my lawn was had sour in it,
No.
and I needed lime or something. But all right,
No.
thank you for your help.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for the call. 395-1450, 395-1450. We talked about the nuisance animal of the week, and this time it's not skunks, it's mice. During during the morning news, we spotlighted crabgrass as the problem of the week in terms of weeds and talked about that at length. You can listen to the podcast at WHTC.com if you want to know more if you got a crabgrass issue. We talked a little bit earlier in our program about leaves as on this first day of autumn, people start thinking about seeing the nice changing of the colors of leaves, which is very nice. But the problem is those leaves then will fall down. And if you have a yard with a lot of nice trees that will turn very pretty, then become an issue with trying to rake them around. Jan talked about making sure you don't put the disease leaves out, get them out of the way. She talked about little spots, right? Little black spots.
Yes, got spots on the leaves. We don't want those. No,
Okay.
we don't want to keep those on the lawn. Got a fungus on them. Get them out of there.
And our fungus of the week is not so much fungus on the leaves, but fungus on the roses.
Yes. Black spot all of a sudden has been a big issue on roses around here. And I don't know why, because, well, we had rain a couple weeks ago, but it's been pretty dry. But you'll start, and it's not just on roses, it's on a lot of flowers, it's on a lot of, even on the shrubs. Get that black spot, and you might get a little halo around it. That's a little fungal problem. You're not going to cure that spot, but you can prevent it from getting, spreading more. So, the it is now Bio Advance 3-in-1 does a great job. Spray it once a month. I spray them on my roses every month because they are just tendency to get this. And don't water overhead. Make sure you always water, on the ground, so you don't spread that disease as it drips from one infected leaf to another good leaf. So water on the ground, spray it with a Bio Advance 3-in-1, and you should prevent it from taking off all of your leaves.
And finally, our insect of the week. Now, in the past, we've had to deal with wasps, and that's still an issue.
Yeah, still an issue.
But the insect of the week go marching 2 by 2. Hurrah, hurrah. The ants are back in town. Hurrah, hurrah.
It's been dry, and they love dry, sandy soil and even dry, heavy soil. They are making ant mounds out there like there is no tomorrow. So get out there. The home defense granules, if you have them in your lawn, work extremely well. Make sure you do your home defense around your house so they don't come marching in the house. We don't want that, but they are out in force. Remember, they are, a part of the food chain. So, just get rid of the ones that are bothering you. Leave some for the birds.
Yeah, give them some work to do as well.
That's right.
So that's our word category for this week. Next week, we will have more of the top issues you bring to the Bryan Seed in Washington and Elm. And Jan will be able to answer those issues, not only in person, but also when we have our awards category here on the WHTC Talk of the Town program. As we get close to buttoning up our program for this morning, I want to remind you that Jan, of course, is at the DeBruyn Seed, Washington, Elm, and downtown Zeeland. You can stop by, say hi, make sure that Mr. Butternut gets a nice little pet or two. But also, you can give her a call when she's not with us at 772-2316, 772-2316. And, of course, Jan will be back with us on Saturday for the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show. 11 to 12 noon here on WHTC. And then next Tuesday, if all goes well, Jan will be with us in the garden party at 8:35 on WHTC Morning News, and from 10 to 11 here on WHTC's Talk of the Town. Jan Meeuwsen, Master Gardener, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
this evening, and wish you and everybody at DeBruyn Seed, even Mr. Butternut, well. And we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you very much. That is Jan Meeuwsen, the Master Gardener, on the WHTC Talk of the Town program.